How's it going, guys? Today we are getting started on the Simple Models chapter of Genuine Origami by Jun Maekawa. Very exciting. This first one is the snake, which I will be the first to admit does not look very impressive. It is a model that anytime I've shown it to somebody, they've been very much like, oh, okay. Of course, it's a really good learning model to learn a technique called box pleating. When you're box pleating, basically what we're doing is we're folding a grid, and then we are pulling points out of that grid, and you'll see more of what I mean later. But when you get into more complex origami, not quite in this book, but within the community at large, you'll see a lot of the time to nail down where a specific point is supposed to be pulled from to make a flap or an appendage on something. A grid is involved in making those pre-creases. So this is a good skill to have, and I think this model teaches it perfectly. I've done the first three steps already. That would be folding a 4x4 grid. So we will go ahead, skip on over to step 4. Step 4 being folding this edge to this made by the 4x4 grid. And if you don't know how to fold a 4x4 grid, you can find Jun Maekawa's book, Genuine Origami, on archive.org. YouTube will not let me link it yet, though I hope to have it in the description within the next 2 months is when they said I'll be able to actually start putting things in the description that are clickable. Of course, it's as easy as folding in half and then folding this edge to the half. And you can do that for any power of 2. So 8x8, 16x16, 32x32. Anything other than that, you'll have to do something a little different. But powers of 2 are very easy. Let's see here. Ooh, there we go. So that is step 4. And for step 5, we are going to fold this edge down to this crease that we made as a part of our grid. Let's see here. Gosh, my lighting can make it kind of hard to see. But I promise you, I'm at the correct edge. We're on our way kind of to making an 8x8 grid, but for steps 6 and 7, we're gonna take a look here, and we're going to, it's kind of like a rabbit ear fold or maybe an inside reverse fold, but basically we are going to take this flap that exists here and pull it out so it comes to a point while keeping this edge straight on as it was and this edge straight on as it was. So the way to do that is you could unfold this a little bit, make sure that these both stay folded down, and just kind of move your finger in such a way that it starts creating a diagonal crease here. Specifically, you want a 45-degree angle crease, and that helps bring this paper out. Then what I like to do is I like to make sure that that crease follows down to the tip of that corner, and in doing that, just geometrically speaking, I know I've made the right crease. So let me do that again, just to show you again. You open it up, you start rolling the paper out. That pushes that corner out. Then you isolate it so that the corner is halved, and that automatically makes the crease correct every time, as long as you have a perfect square, which admittedly I don't. This kami is pretty cheap and it's a little warped, but what I have is close enough to a perfect square. Step 8. We're gonna flip this over, then we're gonna bring this down on that crease we made from our 4x4 grid. So see that crease there? Just bring it down on that pre-existing crease. Super easy. Then even easier, step 9, we're gonna go ahead and bring it over on another pre-existing crease. Just like this. Easy peasy. Now, look at that. We are at step 10. For step 10, it gets a little bit scarier, especially if you're just going off the diagram. But basically, now that we have this fold, we have some excess space here that we can use to move this up. If you just pull the paper up, it'll probably listen to you and go up like you would want it to. But if you're in a tricky situation, the paper's not cooperating, here's what you do. Push your finger in here to open this up, and then also push your finger under here to fold up in a 45-degree angle, just like you did before, making sure that this edge matches with this edge. As you close up, you'll see the paper itself match up to that other edge, and you'll have found that you completed step 11. Oh, that 10 was supposed to have a 1 on the back. I see. You'll found that you've completed step 11. Oh well. Now we're on to step 12. All right. And oh, of course, let me show it how the book would have you do it. You just pull it out, and it'll behave also. Cool. We are on step 12 now. Flip this over, and then fold this edge to this center line, like so. If you wanted, you really could fold an 8x8 grid before you began. This model is based on an 8x8 grid. The book tells you to only fold a 4x4 because you can create an 8x8 grid while doing the steps of this model. Either way, both are correct. We are now on step 13. And just for ease of me later, we're now on step 13. Cool. Step 13 is to fold this edge down to this crease. See that there? This crease that was made while we made our 4x4. And you'll know you're doing good when these edges are lining up with each other. Like I said, it's based on an 8x8 grid. Once again, for steps 14 and I guess just step 14. For step 14, it's going to be a lot like step 11. We're going to pull this flap straight out. So once again, if you are having trouble just pulling it straight, I mean, it's easy to pull it straight, but if you're having trouble pulling it straight, once again, you can open it up and then make that mountain fold here so that this crease lines on up with this edge. So open it up, make that 45-degree fold here, and close it up. Or as the book would have you do it, and as I would do it if I was not trying to film for beginner, is gosh, I can't even close it up as it was before. I would just go yoink, and that would be fine. Gosh, this is such a fun model. I love this model. Step 15. We are going to mount and fold this back on the existing crease. It may be easier on you to flip it over, find that crease, and then valley fold on it. But that is step 15. Quite easy. Now, step 16, which is one of these steps that I honestly make this whole series for. It's just to look. but then we are gonna get on to step 17. Step 17 is a squash fold that the book makes it look a little scary, but I'll show you what to do. Just put your finger in this first flap here. Then you valley fold that square over, squash in between here. You're met with this shape. Then it's a super simple inside reverse fold. Then for step 18, it is a super simple inside reverse fold right here. For inside reverse folds, once again, you're just opening up the model, then folding along a line. Looks like this is the line for us here. So open up the model, make sure you're giving it a mountain fold that comes to this edge. And I'm trying to do this in a simple way, and I'm doing it how I normally wouldn't have done it. But here, basically, how about this? Pre-creases are your friend when you mountain fold. Fold this down. This isn't a step. The step is to then open it up and fold it on in. You fold it down. So open it up, mountain there, mountain here, creating a valley in between that brings that corner square down. Now we have the real scariest fold of this entire model. Step 19. Keep with me here. What we're gonna wanna do is pull this flap while holding on to this flap. You'll see the paper start to open. If you have paper that's starting to tear, the way to help this along is when it's like this kind of open, you stick your finger in here and you push on this fold made by the grid, and that will flatten this triangle here. Then you go back to what you were doing. Make sure that this stays creased because you don't want to open that stuff up. You don't want it to be harder. Just push it in such a way that this crease mountains again in here. In putting your fingers in the right places, pulling that crease tight, and then closing it up as if this was an open sink, you will get the shape shown in the diagram for step 20. Look at that. We've successfully made it past the scariest step in this model. You're awesome. Cool. Now here's what's up. For step 20, what we're doing is we're gonna take this tip and then bring it straight out. When I say box pleating helps us with isolating points, that's what we're doing. We're getting these points, creating flaps to just really pull them out of that square shape. So you wanna open this up, pull this tip out, and then just kind of close back on that crease we made before. And that should, if you have a square, naturally close up into another point. What's cool about this model is it looks like you folded a paper into a thin strip and then you just shaped that through very simple folds into a coiled snake. This is giving the illusion that the snake is longer than the actual longest length you can have from the square, the hypotenuse. It's geometric. I don't want to explain it, but that's what makes this model cool. If you want to know more, read the book. Now, what we're gonna do for step 21, we are going to go ahead and fold this edge to this edge, nice and easy. I said nice and easy, come on. Here we go. now that we've folded this edge to this edge, we are on to step 22. And step 22, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this edge down along this crease, which will half this 90-degree angle there. And same, this edge will go to this crease. So I like to fold towards me. That's why I'm rotating my piece of paper. Awesome. Great. And that brings us over to step 23. Step 23 is another one of those slightly scarier steps, but basically we're doing as we did before. We're going to pull this flap up and out. If your paper misbehaves on you, once again, you just want to open it up, put your finger in to kind of open up this flap, and then encourage this flap to fold at a 45-degree angle. Then you close it up, that'll have completed. But once again, I really recommend just gently pulling on it to pull the flap out. The paper will do all of the work for you. Even this kami, which I think is generally very disobedient, that will be the easiest thing for you to do. Now we've got step 24. For step 24, we're going to do a simple inside reverse fold, bringing this flap to this crease. So what we're doing is we're just going to open this up here, fold the flap over, then close it, just like that. Our pre-existing creases will want to listen to us on that one. Bam. Okay. Next up, what do we got? What comes after? What's funnier than 24? 25. Okay. What we're going to do is pull out this part right here and squash it. And I know that can seem a little scary. You just want to move slowly, massage the paper. See, flatten that part that comes out. Just fold it back down. You'll get exactly what is shown in the diagram. We're getting to that was like the last hard fold, guys. It's easy street now. Easy street now. Okay. Step number 26. We're just gonna move this here. This is gonna want to be flattened right here. Just make sure to pull it really, really taut to get it nice and triangular and flat. Oof. So this edge should meet this crease here. It's okay. My paper is not a perfect square, and because of that, the model will have slight inconsistencies. But we do what we can. See here, can I pull this paper over anymore to fix that? I can't. That's okay. All right. Step 27. Getting so close, guys. So exciting. We are going to do a mountain fold, it looks like. I'm going to bring this flap, bring this corner to this corner on the flap. And the next step involved turning the paper over. So I've already done that. Now you get a shape that looks like this. Step 28. We are going to do a mountain fold on this here. Just going to bring this edge to this right there. Oof. It's a single layer fold. Wow. I'm having a lot of trouble folding this. Sometimes I feel like Kami, like I said, is just very... I know it may seem like user error, but I feel like it misbehaves. I expect it to behave in a different way, and it just doesn't want to follow me. Like that. You don't want to have that little overhang there. But that's what I ended up with, and that's okay. Next, step 29. We are actually going to fold this square right here in half the same way via mountain fold. So if you were to turn the paper over while making the fold, bring this corner up here. Bam. Just like that. Keep pulling the paper out of frame. Keep having to remember to make this visible for you guys. Check it out. We've done it. We've hit step 30, you guys. That's so cool. Now, this is the amazing step 30 on this model. I'm going to get back to this orientation. Then what we are doing is we are going to fold this up here and tuck under. So we're folding this. I think this also was supposed to come with that. I think this maybe is an inside reverse. I don't remember that being factored into the model. Gosh, I keep putting it off camera. When I folded this up, I found this. I don't think that's supposed to be a part of the model at all, if I'm being honest. We're gonna go ahead and tuck this into this pocket right here. There's a little pocket here. Just gonna throw this guy in there. If you encountered the same issue I did, I've never encountered that before. This be the camera jitters. And we're gonna tuck this guy into this pocket here. Just like that. Next, flipping the model over again for 31. We're gonna mountain diagonally in half all of these squares. Like a little coil corkscrew. Next, all we have to do is stand that flap up, uncoil it, and we've got our nice ferocious snake. Look at that. Ooh. You can pop the head open if you'd like. I do like, so I will be popping the head open. That is our snake. A deceptively simple looking model that involves some fancy box pleating tricks, and one that I find very, very fun to fold. It's not that much to display, but it's models like this that make me love the book. 31 steps, guys. Thank you.